All right, in this video, let's talk about how to choose an online business when you work full time. Okay, so let's talk about this. In this video, I've noticed that a lot of people they get exhausted after work. Everybody's works at different companies, so depending on what time you're working and the company that you're working for, some jobs require a lot more energies than others, right? So the thing is that you have to think like this. So if you're working the morning shifts, afternoon, there are three different shifts, right? Mornings, afternoons, and nights, right? I would say that if the majority of people they're working in the mornings, okay. So what I would do in this case, let's say if you have like children, maybe you have bills to pay. Let's say you're exhausted after work, you don't want to do anything. This is what I'll do. Okay, just commit yourself doing at least 1 hour a day. Okay, of productivity. Now you're probably thinking that that's so low, right? No, but you have to really understand this. What happened is that when you do for just 1 hour, what happens is that if you do that for 1 week, it's going to compound. Okay, it's going to be 1 hour to 2 hours. Next week's going to be perhaps 3 hours, and then once again it goes back towards 1 hour. Okay, the key here is that you're still making progress. Okay, so the thing is that how to choose an online business when you work full time. You have to really play around with this. Okay, so let's say for example, this is what I suggest a lot of people doing. Depending on the person, try to switch your work shift towards afternoons, because then you can get everything done in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Because that time is when you have enough energy, right? But once again, you got to play it around because every individual is uniquely different. Some people prefer after work from their morning shifts. Play it around a bit. Like the key here is that you got to find one. You got to find one that suits for you. Okay. I've met people who work night shifts and they get things done during the afternoons. Right. So to me, it all depends on the individual of that person. So play it around with it. Okay. Play it around. Find one that actually works for you, and dedicate yourself. And just by doing 1 hour a day. Now you're like I know it sounds less, right? But the whole aspects is that those are just benchmarks. What happens is that if you can do that for 1 week, look what happens. The next week's gonna be 2 hours. The third week could be 3 hours. Okay? And then the fourth week, you could be doing 5 hours, 6 hours. Okay, remember I told you the analogy of going to the gym. In order to increase your productivity, is to identify the minor goals and the major goals. And what I mean by this is that you want to focus on you probably heard about this, the Pareto's principles, right? The 80-20 principle, where that 20% can produce 80% of of their results. So the thing is that pick a time, play around with it. Maybe you work better in the morning, maybe you work better in the afternoon. Maybe talk to your boss that you can switch from those different time frames. And then what happens is you're going to find that works for you. And then from there, the cool part is now what happens is that you're working full time on your job and now part time on your future. Okay. And from there, what happened is that now you understand, once you start doing this, now you know how to effectively plan your time.